All right, happy Sabbath, everyone. This is Darnell Gabriel from Revolutionary Sword. Peace and blessings from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. All right, I'm here to present another video. I hope all is well with you and your household. And as always, continue to pray for me as I pray for you in Jesus' mighty name. Well, family, what can I say? They took down my video for Black History Month. I thought that was very interesting. But according to Facebook, they said that I was pretty much promoting hate speech. And I was trying to figure out how was that possible. And so I went and looked up their policies and everything, and they pretty much define hate speech as a way of attacking a particular group of people or degrading them in some form or fashion. But according to their policies, I'm able to actually what you might call, hold on, I'm trying to make sure I get it right. I was able to appeal the decision, so that's what I did. And so I just pretty much explained to Facebook that my video did not have hate speech in it. And anytime a particular group of people is mentioned, don't necessarily mean that it's hate speech. So I appealed my decision, so hopefully Facebook will return the video back to my page. But if you are interested in hearing what I got to say concerning Adam being a nigger, then you can actually go check it out on YouTube. Okay, but hopefully they'll return my my video to my Facebook page. Okay, but nevertheless, I'm just going to continue on and presenting the evidence that Adam is a black man according to the Bible. Now, what I'm going to do is actually present to you how biased our culture and our society is when it comes to actually presenting the proper evidence or truth that the organic people of the Bible are actually of Negroid persuasion, right? And when I say organic people, I'm talking about Adam, even Eve, the children of Israel, the Egyptians, many different characters throughout the Bible. Most people don't even know that they are of a Negroid persuasion or a colored person persuasion. Now, most people get uncomfortable about that for some reason. And I actually made a post on TikTok about it. And I actually got a lot of backlash for the video, because most people feel like that they don't care about color. It don't matter, what the color of Adam is, or even Jesus the Christ. But I believe with all my heart that if God put it in the Bible, then it must matter. Now, you might have to do a little digging to understand that these people are people of color, but nevertheless, it's in the Bible. And I don't understand why people have an issue with that. I mean, anytime you bring up color, now, like I said before, when you take a look at pictures in the Bible, when you take a look at movies, everybody in the picture of the Bible, they're all of Caucasian persuasion. They don't look Middle Eastern, as most people say now. No, they look Caucasian. And in the movies, when you look at the Ten Commandments, when you look at Jesus of Nazareth, why is everybody of Caucasian persuasion? Even the Egyptians in the Ten Commandments are white people. Why is that? The only ones that look very dark skinned in the Ten Commandments are Ethiopians. Everybody know that the Egyptians are black people. Come on now. Let's be real about it. And so if that's hate speech, something's wrong with the definition of hate speech. No, it's not hate speech. It's just I'm presenting truth and I'm giving evidence. So I'm gonna post some pictures in this video showing that they are supplanting certain images in your mind when they put pictures in Bibles and all the people are white, when they make movies and all the actors that are playing major roles like Moses and Pharaoh, they're all Caucasian people. Now, personally, I don't have nothing against Caucasian people. Not personally, even though I know they had a bad interaction between us and other ethnic, groups of people. But nevertheless, I don't have nothing really, against Caucasian people. Now, they could be a little bit more honest about their presentations when they're doing, biblical roles. They can do that. And they just been recently using what you call quote unquote Middle Eastern people to play Jesus roles, right? They have a more Middle Eastern look. They're a little bit more darker complexion and their hair is dark, But if you go do your research, the organic people of the land are straight up Negro looking. And if you want to say Negro, I guess that might be the politically correct term. But really, if you go in Acts 13 says Simon the Neger, who was a prophet in the Acts of the Apostle in Acts chapter 13. Go look it up for yourself. So, I'm not just saying anything just to be, trying to start a race war. People don't even know who I am. I don't have that much power to be starting a race riot. Anyway, I'm going to continue my journey in explaining that Adam is the so-called black man, the first black man in the Bible. Now, I'm going to do a recap of Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, and it says, "Then the Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground. He breathed the breath of life into the man's nostrils, and the man became a living person or living soul." Now, what I want to do now is do a breakdown of the word man according to Strong's definition. And of course, when you say man, you actually mean Adam. Adam means man, okay? And in the definition of Adam or man, it means ruddy. Ruddy. And I'm going to display pictures of ruddiness, right? A human being, an individual, or the species of mankind, meaning male and female. Did you know Adam's name means, or man's name means hypocrite? Yeah, it's right in the definition. Man's name means hypocrite. And also it means of low degree. Okay? Now, I'm going to continue on and give you some more breakdown of man based off of the etymology. Okay? And you can actually go look this up on the online etymology of the word man. Okay? Now, or look up Adam. Let me say it like that. Look up the word Adam, but look it up on the online etymology. Okay? You can Google that. Now, according to the online etymology of the name Adam, okay, it says the biblical name of the first man, the progenitor of the human race. From Hebrew, Adam, man, literally, the one formed from the ground. Adamah, ground. So the word ground is an English translation of the Hebrew word Adamah. Okay? Now in the Latin is homo. Like that's where you get the word homo sapien for man, right? Also humanus. Humanus. Now you notice that when you say human, that means a man from the ground. But the word hue is applied to color. So hue man means a man of color. Isn't that something? Now, also, human also means humus, right? Humus is earth. Humus is earth, ground, soil. Now I'm going to give you some pictures of what humus looked like. Now remember I said that Adam was created from the dust of the earth. Now in the definition of dust, which is the afar, remember in the definition it says rubbish. So God used rubbish to create and form Adam from the dust or the afar of the ground, which is the actual earth, the soil. Okay, now, and I'm gonna make sure I give you some pictures so that you have a visual in your mind concerning humus. All right, now here's a few more scriptures pertaining to Adam being made from the ground, right? I quoted last week from 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 47, and it says Adam, the first man, was made from the dust of the earth, while Christ, the second man, came from heaven. So Adam, according to Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 47, was made from the dust of the earth. Now I know all of you all that read the Bible might understand that already. Now, it also goes on to say, we now have this light shining in our hearts, but we ourselves are like fragile clay jars containing this great treasure. Well, we all know that he's talking about the human body being a clay jar, right? This makes it clear that our great power is from God, not from ourselves, right? That's 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 7. Also 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 1 says, for we know that when this earthly tent we live in is taken down, that is, when we die and leave this earthly body, we will have a house in heaven, an eternal body made for us by God himself and not by human hands. So once again, Paul is letting you know that this body comes from the ground. Now, I'm going to give you a root word for Adam's name, okay? And Adam in the root is to show blood. Adam is to show blood in the face, flush or turn rosy, be dyed, made red, or ruddy. Now let me explain something to you concerning this root word of Adam, which means to show blood in the face. Now, there are some people out there, when they look at the definition of the word Adam, to show blood in the face, in the root, that's where they get that. Most people believe that Adam is a Caucasian man, because Caucasian people, when they blush or when they have less melanin than other Caucasians, some Caucasians show more blood in the face than other Caucasians. But nevertheless, they have more transparency of skin where they're easy to show blood in the face. But they're not the only ones that can show blood in the face. Guess what? Hey, I'm a so-called Negro. I turn red in the face. I show blood in the face. So that's not just, targeted to a certain group of people. But if I believe that Adam is a Negro, that means that showing blood in the face don't have nothing to do with the color of your skin. Okay? I'm gonna prove that based off of this definition. When it says to turn rosy or red or ruddy, that don't have nothing to do with the color of your skin. We all know that everybody, every human being, if you're a human being, when blood comes out of your body, it turns what? Like reddish brown, right? Okay, so every human being has red blood cells flowing through their body. And when it comes out, every human being's blood come out the same way. Okay? So it really don't have nothing to do with the color of your skin. Now, if you are a darker hue of a person, then of course, the blood is not going to be as prevalent showing through your skin as a lighter skinned hue man, right? Now I'm reading something from out of the Lexicon, and I want you to listen to this. According to the Lexicon, to be red, ruddy, all right? Once found in Lamentations chapter 4, verse 7, their princes were whiter than milk. Now, once again, this is nothing to do with the color of your skin, but some people take this out of context and say this applies to white people. No, it do not. I repeat, no, it do not. But let's continue. Their body was more ruddy than coral. Okay? This is according to Lamentations chapter 4, verse 7. Also, it goes on to say, whiteness and ruddiness belong to the description of youthful beauty. Let me read that again. Whiteness and ruddiness belong to the description of youthful beauty. So it don't have nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has something to do with youthful beauty, because everybody know when you get good healthy blood flow and you get good clean blood, that you're going to have a youthful look to yourself, right? You cannot have good youthful look without good flow of blood. Or if your blood is tainted with all kinds of, bad blood cells, and, you got cells dying all in your body, and, like when people get cancer, they start to turn pale looking because they're losing life. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when you get good, clean blood, good blood flow going through your body, then you have a youthful beauty about yourself. Okay? Which makes perfectly good sense. So that has nothing to do with pigmentation or the color of your skin. All right? Now, it goes on to say, hence, it is a mistake to apply the word in this place as meaning clear whiteness. So, for all you white people out there, or so-called white people, I should say, that think that Adam, because it means to show blood through the face, or to be ruddy or red, like most of the time when you go online, just Google pictures of ruddy people. Most of the time, those pictures are going to show up as white people with red hair and red freckles and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm here to tell you that's wrong. Okay? Now, as I continue to read on, I'm going to prove that out. Now that we get that out the way, so the word Adam in the root, it means red or ruddy. Red or ruddy. Now, I'm going to show pictures of ruddy looking people. Heck, I'll put up white people that has a ruddy look to themselves. But guess what? I'm going to put up pictures of Negro people that has a ruddy look to themselves too. Now, let me continue on. I'm going to show a picture of badger skin, or skin that is dyed red. You know, the same skin that was placed on the tent of meetings when Moses met with God at the tent, at the tabernacle. And you're going to notice that the pattern of color is not what you might think it be, according to what I read when it comes to the word Adam, meaning ruddy. No, you're going to find out that this picture is going to display that the badger skin is going to have a hue look to it. It's going to be a darker reddish brown tone. You'll see it in the video. Now, I want to read something a little bit further down concerning Exodus. Let's see. Yeah, within the definition concerning ruddy, it says her Nazarites were brighter than snow and whiter than milk. That was Lamentations chapter 7 verse 4. They were more ruddy in the body than rubies, like sapphires in their appearance. And I'm gonna show a picture of something similar, what you might call a sapphire, that has a ruddy look to it. Okay, now also I want to read something to you from International Standard Encyclopedia. This is what really secured my understanding when it comes to, you know, the word Adam being ruddy, right? Now, some people might use the word Adam as being ruddy in the verses of scripture. I believe it's in Genesis, I want to say chapter 25, somewhere around there between Jacob and Esau. You know, Jacob and Esau, right? Where you got some groups of people that believe that Esau is the white man. Now, they'll use the same word Adamah or Adam as being ruddy and say, see, Esau is a white man. But I disagree with that. Okay, that's not my position, because it has to be consistent throughout the scripture. So if Adamah or Adam is perceived in my opinion, to be a colored person, that means that Esau has to be a colored person too. Now that's my understanding, but I know there are some other camps out there that actually believe that Esau is the white man. I'm talking about the literal human being Esau. Okay, now I do believe that Esau is connected to the Roman Empire. I do believe that, and I do believe when God said he's got a problem with Esau, he most definitely talking about Rome. Okay, I do believe that. But when you're talking about the actual human being Esau that came out of the womb of his mother, whose brother is Jacob, I don't believe he's a white man. I don't believe that. Okay, now I want to read this from International Standard Encyclopedia when it talks about ruddy. Now, ruddy, Adoni or Adomi, when you look up like mahogany or Adomi, it has a picture of a hue color to it, right? As a matter of fact, I got a picture right behind this camera that looks something like, when you look up Adoni, if I'm actually pronouncing that right. Please forgive me if I'm murking it. But 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 12, 17 and 42, Genesis 25 and 25. I believe it is Genesis 25 and 25. Okay, it says Adon, Solomon 5 and 10, also Lamentations 4 and 7. Okay, now they threw out a word to blush, right? Also, you can actually look up this in, I'm not sure what this is, but scratch that part. But to continue on in the definition, ruddy is the form taken by the adjective red when used as a term of praise of human skin. Okay, let me repeat that again. Red when used as a term of praise of human skin. So once again, it is actually agreeing with what I read out of the lexicon, that it don't have nothing to do with color per se, other than the blood showing through the skin, right? Now, this is what's gonna strike you as being interesting, and this is its use in the Bible. The Hebrew and Greek words are all usual words for red or to be red. Now, the dark-skinned Hebrews. Let me say that again. The dark-skinned Hebrews found great beauty in a clear complexion. And I will show pictures of dark-skinned Hebrews. Now, if the Hebrews are dark-skinned, what you think Adam is? And they are pulling the word ruddy from the word Adam. You follow me? One more time. The dark-skinned Hebrews found great beauty in a clear complexion. This is out of the International Standard Encyclopedia. Now, look at the word for ground in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, which is the Hebrew word Adamah, which is soil, from its general redness, country, earth, ground, husband, land. Now, what's interesting is about this is that the region that Adam was created in, the soil actually has a reddish brown look to it. Now, I'm going to show pictures of that in this video. Now, I'm going to read something to you from the Antiquities of the Jews in the book of Josephus. All right? Antiquity of the Jews in the book of Josephus, book 1, and it's pertaining to the creation of Adam. Listen to this. It says, moreover, Moses, after the seventh day was over, began to talk philosophically and concerning the formation of man, says thus, that God took dust from the ground and formed man and inserted in him a spirit and a soul. Okay? Now, according to Josephus, the soil that God created man from was virgin red earth. Virgin red earth. And if you take a look at these pictures that I'm going to show you, the pictures I'm going to show you is going to be red earth from Africa, right? Like I showed a video from last week where a brother was actually talking about the different colors of soil in Africa and how they are very fertile, but it was very red looking. Go back and take a look at the first video I did and you will see that video within that video. But I'm going to show pictures of the soil. Okay. Now, once again, I'm going to the online etymology, and I'm actually going to give you the definition of hummus, right? Which I actually quoted earlier when it came to the name of the man Adam. Okay. So hummus, which is earth, soil, primarily from humai, on the ground. All right. So it's related to earth. Okay. Now, there is another word, which is damhin or damheim, if I'm saying it correctly. It says it is the phonetical source of evidence for the existence is provided by Sanskrit, earth, the earth's solid surface of the earth, on the ground. Latin, humus, earth, soil. Humus, low. Remember, in the definition of Adam or man, it says man is of low, meaning ground, right? Now, also, there's another word which I'm not going to try to pronounce, but it's actually in the online etymology of the word hummus. 1640s, one sprung from the soil he inhabits. So, in the 1640 definition, it is saying that one that springs up from the ground, like plants, they spring up from the ground. So organic people of the land that has lived there before, let's just say any other foreigners come in, they are considered the ones that has sprung up from the ground. In other words, aborigines or natives, primitive inhabitants, literally sprung from the land itself. Okay, so, and it also mentions the Pelagians or Pelagians, and if you know anything about the Pelagians, these are supposed to be actually the organic Greeks, the original Greeks. Now, when I say Greek, you might think, oh, white people. No, these are not white people. These are actually human or hue looking people of color, right? But I'm also going to read some to you where these people came from. Okay, so Pelagians, make sure I say that correctly. Pelagians, these are considered to be the organic original Greeks from the Greek islands, right? And they're not Caucasian people. All right. Now, I'm actually reading something to you, and I'm going to show a picture of hummus, right? Hummus is used to create like gardens, right? When you look at soil that is created for gardens, the soil is actually rich and dark, but in some cases it can actually be very reddish brown. Okay, but most soil, when they have soil created for gardens and stuff like that, it's very dark looking. Okay, now it says in academia education, and I'm reading to you from academia education to help you to understand that in most of the regions of the country around the world, the organic people of the land were dark-skinned people that are of hue color, right? In other words, they look like some niggers or Negroes. Do you understand? Don't get offended when I say nigger. Don't get offended by that word, because that means black. That's all it means. Even though that's just a term of description, that's not who you are. You are a human being, right? It's just that other people described you as being of a hue color or a very, very dark skin color, so they're using it as a description of a particular group of people. Now, in academia education, the original inhabitants of ancient Greece were the Pelagians. Okay, so I just read that within the hummus definition on the online etymology. You can Google that, hummus. Let me spell it. On the online definition, H-U-M-U-S, H-U-M-U-S, hummus. Look that up on the online etymology dictionary, and then you'll get the definition of hummus. But it used that word incompatible with the Peloponnesian people, right? Meaning that they had sprung up from the organic ground of that land. They are the original inhabitants of that land. But let me continue to read this from academia education. The original inhabitants of ancient Greece were Pelagians. a black race. Let me say that again. The original inhabitants of ancient Greece were the Pelagians, a black race. This finding verifies the genetic connection between Greeks and black Africans. Greeks and black Africans. The Pelagians established the first civilization in Grecian history. Their civilization sprung its roots around 2500 BC. 2500 BC. They descended from the oldest race of mankind. Who is that? The Hermetic or black race. Let me say that again. The Pelagians, Pelasgians, the first civilization in Grecian history. Their civilization sprung its roots around 2500 BC. They descended from the oldest race of humankind, the Hermetic or black race, who were civilization builders. They initiated civilization and culture throughout the world. The world. That's true. No matter where you go in the world, you're going to find black people around the world. You go to Russia, black people. You go to Greek islands, black people. You go to over there in the east where China and those islands over there, black people. You come over here to the Americas, black people. Australia, black people. Hawaii, black people. So the oldest civilization in the entire world is the Hermetic people, and they are civilization builders, and they have built civilizations around the world. Okay? They initiated civilization and culture throughout the world. They were the principal founders of civilization in Europe. They seeded both humanity and civilization from North Africa and to the Mediterranean and Southern Europe, leaving their mark on the entire European continent. Now, the Hermetic people are the oldest people. If you go into Genesis chapter 10, you'll come to find that the Hermetic people were one of the oldest civilizations around the world. Genesis chapter 10. Matter of fact, the one who ruled the world first was the people of Cush, and one of their children, who was called Nimrod, became the ruler of the entire planet. Why am I bringing all this up? Is because if you have the oldest civilization in the world that are civilization builders, and they're black people, wouldn't it logically make sense that the first man that was created, that sprung up out of the soil, is a black person, is a Neger, is a person of hue? Of course it is. Of course it's logically to think like that. So, this ain't got nothing to do with white people. This ain't got nothing against white people. I'm just conveying truth to you to dispel the untruth that is portrayed in biblical pictures, whether it be pictures in the Bible, or when somebody give you a tract, or when they do biblical stories and everybody's white and very little few speckles of Negroid looking people. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there. This is Darnell Gabriel from Revolutionary Sword. Adam is a black man. He's a Neger. He's a man of color. He's a huge man that sprung up from the earth. I'll see you on the next Sabbath for the next Black History lesson. Shalom.